Good
Looks like
morning,
it
good morning, good
unbrewed.
morning, YouTube. How are you guys doing? Happy Hump Day, and thank you for joining us on What's in Your Cup. So, last week we had an episode of the Keeper's Corner with some awesome freshmen in the game that are doing some great things. In that episode, a topic came up that was worthy of having its own episode. So we invited Saz of Swamp Water Exotics over, and we're going to discuss a little bit more the quote unquote controversy regarding his logo. But good morning to all of you. And before I get Saz out of the green room, I just want to do some sticker shout outs. And we have, I think you're on the line right now. Hello, Brian. Sending you my first sticker. I hope all is well. I hope you have a great season. God bless. Carlos, Zumbitos Morphs. Why, thank you, sir. Zumbitos Morphs. I get the first edition of his sticker. Hey, wait a minute. Speaking of logo controversies, this one looks a little bit like H&M. We're going to have to talk about this, Carlos. This is actually the topic of the day, but I do appreciate you sending us your first sticker. Thank you so much. Okay, who do we have next here? Hey, this is my guy. We're going over to the West Coast, the Less Coast, because everybody knows that the East Coast is the Beast Coast. And here we have the man, Hardy's Pythons. Okay, Hardy, that Cypress boy I got from you is doing really well. Thank you again for letting me add him to our collection. He will be ready to rock soon, and we are already lining up some ladies for him. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I see you jumping in there. All right, guys. Good morning. Hugh, you see that sticker, huh? Looks a little bit like yours. I told you need to change your logo. We got to get that done, guys. Maybe we're going to do a contest for H&M to get a new logo going. Can't believe this. Speaking about logos, doesn't Hardy have like an awesome logo? I love Hardy's logo. Kind of reminds me of Harley Davidson. Oh, wait a minute. Did Dave Jack Harley Davidson's logo? Oh my goodness. Today, all these scandals are just surfacing, and I haven't even had my first cup of coffee. But speaking of which, I do want to thank Nikki from Mutation Station for making me this tumbler. I love it. Absolutely great quality. It's beautiful. And look at all those awesome stickers. And you know what? I think our logo is as unique as they come because I haven't seen anybody with it. But I will share a secret, guys. Samson designed the logo, and he designed it off of two emojis: the strongman arm fist and the snake emoji, and he asked them if they could combine them. So maybe that kid's a little criminal too. All right, and here we go. Tags Pythons. Thank you so much, Tags Pythons. This is one sexy sticker. Definitely one sexy sticker. So Slater says, man, I did so much investigation on stickers. And believe mine looks nothing like another. Well, there's definitely a lot of originality out there. That I will say. Definitely a lot of originality. But before we get to the good mornings and the hellos, why don't we bring in, well, I don't know, is this Swamp Bayou Love? Is this Love Swamp and Herps?
You know, that's a kick in the nuts.
Let's bring him in and let him introduce himself. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning. How y'all doing today?
We doing well, man. How are you doing? I can't believe we're still talking about this. Well, introduce yourself real quick, even though I did shout you out.
All right, so I'm Saz with Swampwater Exotics. We're located in Baton Rouge. Mother half is CJ of Black Tie Royals, and so the topic of conversation is your logos and like how somebody might try and use them.
Yeah. Now I know, obviously, sometimes people do it intentionally. Sometimes people do it just as a joke. My buddy Corey Gons, C Gons, he had a Wendy's sticker. Okay, and I mean, it literally started an uproar in the Facebook community.
Really?
Where people were like, "Oh, that's the easy way to go," and we're just like, "Wow!" Like, some people just have no sense of humor, no time on their hands. The bickering, the back and forth, and people start taking sides, and that's where things become controversial. So
Right.
again, I wanted to say thank you for waking up early today, and joining us on What's in Your Cup. And last week, I mean, we had a great show last week. I thank you for joining us on that show and participating with. We had a great group.
Thank you for having me.
No, it was definitely our pleasure. I've been waiting for some of you degenerates to join us for a while now. I don't think Jason wants to play with anyone else. You see how late he showed up, right?
Oh yeah.
So
he can't be the center of attention all the time.
He wants it all to himself. So it did come up it did come up last week, and honestly, when I brought it up or I expanded on it, I didn't expect any backlash. I didn't expect to be tagged in people's stories. I didn't expect to be getting DMs saying how immature I am and being upset by the situation. I thought that it was a fair fair topic, a fair conversation to have, considering you were on the show and it had just happened to you. So before you explain to us what happened, I just have to shout out your better half, Black Tie Royals. Now you can't see her logo on the back, which I believe she got from the same place, correct?
She's actually in the bedroom sleeping right now, so
she got it from the same place, right?
Yeah. As far as her logo design is, yeah.
And I'm going to be very honest with you. I think it is one of the nicest logo designs out there. Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Especially in our community. I even told her that I could see me wearing this shirt, and you guys, the logo's on my back, so it's hard to see. But please go check out Black.
Give us a 360 spin. Come on.
All right. I'll give it to you guys. I hope I don't show my underwear or anything. Am I showing it?
Yeah. Hey, Christine.
So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wake her up. That's not
It's like yeah. That's what I was saying. He should just go show us how she sleeps, so we can all go. Ah, she looks so angelic. She looks so sweet. So I mean, I love her logo. It has like this whole Great Gatsby thing. I told her as soon as I saw it, like it made me think of the Great Gatsby, and she said that's exactly where she wanted to go with it. So that's an awesome feeling when your design comes into fruition and people see what you wanted them to see. I mean, I told her I'll throw on a blazer with this and wear this out to an event with some jeans and some boots. I mean, it's just a very nice logo. You don't even know it has anything to do with ball pythons, and it's just it's classy. It's a classy look. So they definitely hit the nail on the head with this one. So why the hell are we talking about logos and controversy? What's going on here?
So what was it? I think it was Thursday of last week. I got sent a DM, and then basically it was, hey, doesn't this logo look familiar? And it was almost what I would call a direct copy. I mean, it was identical. Tree placement and the snake in the center of the design were about the only differences. Color palette, the layout of the design, snake in the front, grass in front of the snake, and then trees behind it, and then bold letters across the top were all the same. So, it was just one of those things. I reached out to the guy, and I'm not gonna say his name. Brian, you can say his name if you want to. But anyway, I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, this looks oddly familiar. I really don't want people getting confused with my logo. Because this is something that your logo is really going to set you apart. So he started, instead of just admitting where he messed up, he wanted to tell me how I was wrong and whole 9 yards. So I finally made a poll after that, and I was like, I want to know all y'all's opinions. I only had 4 people tell me that second logo did not look like mine, and he was one of them. So, yeah, and then I had like 62, I think, answer that it did. So, yeah, I wasn't too happy. So I sent him a screenshot of that, and I was like, yeah, so go ahead and go change that before we have fucking problems. So sorry, before we have problems. And he finally did, and then we had our live on, what was it, Saturday night, Brian?
Friday night.
Friday night? Okay. Yeah, we had our live Friday night, and then he messaged me Saturday morning and then made a Instagram story tagging everybody pretty much in that live, calling us out and the whole 9 yards. And it was just like he wanted to start a whole bunch of drama, adding people that didn't have any skin in the game or, just kind of wanting to throw them under the bus for no reason. So that upset me more than anything. So that's why we're here today.
So, guys, here's just one example. And
so Love Balls and Herps right there on the bottom. That's the new logo. Yeah, that's not what it used to look like.
You can see that in order to make a new logo, actually, aren't both of them new? Bayou and Love Balls and Herps?
Yeah, those are both new, but the Bayou one, and that's kind of my thing is like.
Go ahead.
Huh?
I said these are revised, so if there's a revision, then obviously there must have been some sort of agreement that they weren't going to fly. Okay, there had to be that agreement that this is not working. They look too similar. Can you hear me, Sass?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so
it is through all broken up. I don't know why this morning, but
when I saw the original post, it was uncanny how first of all, Bayou. Okay. So we're talking Bayou. You're from Louisiana, so I'm just like, wow, this is kind of Love Balls and Herps. I actually had some communication with Sandra. She's from Arizona, so I don't understand how that got caught. Her logo got caught up in there. Then I had seen a communication where she wanted colors similar to your logo, and she was inspired by the colors of your logo. For it to end up having such a similar flavor, considering that she's in Arizona, just shows that was kind of like what's going on here.
Right.
Please don't speak Spanish. You're not Spanish. Don't speak Spanish. Okay, I don't care if your children speak Spanish, your wife speaks Spanish. You speak to me in English. Thank you very much. Don't be culture appropriating. You culture vulture. You.
Culture.
So I'm just messing around. So she did not ask for her logo to look like yours. She just asked for her logo to have that similar flavor, the similar I guess color scheme, right? Which we can understand. And she's in Arizona.
Right.
And she had the famous
They're bayou trees, not swamp trees, bayou trees.
The famous bayou trees, right? What are bayou trees?
I have no idea. And like every time he'd say it, because he didn't say it just once, he said that probably 30 times. It would just like irk me a little bit, and I'd be like, dude, I want to come to this phone and slap the shit out of you. No, it's not trademarked. That is something I do want to do though this year.
So that's funny that.
And I think it would be copyright, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a trademark.
It's a copyright. Yeah. And it's funny that Lorenzo asked that question. Good morning. And the reason why I find that funny is if you look at the person's page,
Yep.
they say all logos are copywritten to the new owner, which requires paperwork and a registration and a fee.
Right.
So I was wondering, did you ever receive any paperwork? Because it's a pretty hefty fee. So
I don't give a shit what it is. I'll pay for it.
I mean, it's I think like between $45 and $65, depending on state or whatever the case is. You know, to register it, you're registering it. The copyright, I guess, is technically yours. If you say, "Hey, this is my copyright," but you have to have it registered. So my question is, was it ever registered? Because it does say that all of the artwork is copywritten to the new
As far
owner.
as registering goes, no. But as far as his marketing ability, yes. So that was kind of my issue, you know, is like, you're going to advertise this. So one of two things. Either you're lying or you're being misleading. You know, like, that's what it is. So just one of those things. You can't have it one way and it not be true, or you know.
Well, I would figure it's a pretty nice service charge, and
I mean, I paid for the full package, like, to get everything done. I even paid to get business cards done and designed, so I got that done too.
So it's a pretty nice size package. It comes with a nice price tag along with it. So I could see how someone would include the logo being copywritten and registering it for you. That's how I read it. So that wasn't the case. That wasn't your experience. It has not been registered. You have to register it on your own. You have to pay for that additional registration fee on your own.
Yeah, I would.
Interesting. Okay. That's very interesting. Trademark, you can trademark your name and logo. Yes, you can. Very, very different. Trademark costs a lot more money. And it's something that you would have to actually do state to state. So it wouldn't be like a one-time thing, I don't believe. Someone can correct me on that, but I believe trademark is a whole different ball game. We had this.
I thought trademark was more of a name thing.
Trademark is like a company name, and I'm sure if your name is in your logo, I guess we can look into that. But I know that people were arguing over names not so long ago when Got Balls hit the Facebook forums. I love Facebook, boy. Facebook, if you really want to learn something about ball pythons and you really want to get support, don't go to Facebook.
No, absolutely not. Different breed animal over there. I mean, but then again, like, the questions that people pose on Facebook, you're just like, if you're asking that question, you obviously didn't do research before you bought the snake. You know, little suspect there, but okay. You know, I try not to be a jackass when I reply to things.
That's fair.
It's very difficult.
That's fair. And before we digress, I do just want to say, just think about this though. How many breeders do shows? How many people at the shows have done research before doing a spontaneous purchase of their first ball python with their first fish tank, with their, with their first log hide, with their first lamp, right? So how many people have actually done that? So, in all fairness, I think if you're going to have a forum,
stay off drama.
Okay, if drama book, if you're gonna have a forum, hey, good morning, CJ. I was showing your awesome swag here. If you're gonna have a forum, you have to expect certain things. So, if you're gonna have a forum to help people with ball pythons, you have to expect to hear the same question over and over again. So either redirect them or whatever the case is, but you have a lot of regurgitation there.
Right. And I think that's a lot of people's problem, is the fact that it'll be like the same question 5 times a week. So it's like, take a little extra effort and just go search in the Facebook group, because you can search keywords in the Facebook group and pull up certain things. And I've even found some information out. But before I bought my first one, I did about 6 to 7 months of research, between husbandry and then what genes I wanted before I even purchased my first one. So,
what do you think? Everybody's supposed to be like you now?
yeah.
That's
no,
good.
I'm not saying that at all, Brian, but I do think a little extra effort does go a long way when purchasing an animal.
But do people think about that when they purchase?
Definitely not
A reptile.
No.
Like if we were going to talk to me in American, if we were going to purchase a dog, normally you want
like you and I.
No, we're not doing anything.
Okay, I was about to say I didn't know we had that kind of relationship.
I mean, gosh, this is our second
I was
show.
gonna be flattered.
You already got me pushing CJ out the picture here. What's going on here? if you and I, no, not you and I, if a family was going to purchase a dog, normally they do some type of research, right? They want to see if the breed is compatible with their lifestyle,
right?
How big does the dog get? There's some type of research to that. Now, big difference with a dog and a snake. I think that people don't look at them equal. We do, because we have a passion for these animals.
Well, I kind of view the snakes a little bit more dependent. So I don't want to say I favor them, because Roxy's my child. Like, I had her before CJ. She got me through a tough time in my life and made me a much better person because of this dog. And what's funny is I didn't even want her. My ex wanted her, and then through a breakup, I ended up with the dog, and she became my child. But anyway, it's like she has her own little quirks. And much like ball pythons, I'm sure a lot of us out there, we know kind of the cues and triggers that our certain ball pythons have before they're going to strike, whether they're upset, yada, 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 but in my opinion, the ball pythons are a little bit more dependent, because she'll come over here and tell me whether she needs to go outside, whether she needs water, whether she needs food. She'll come try and communicate as best she can to let me know what she needs. You don't get that with snakes, So it's one of those things. You just got to really know what you're looking for. And some of that comes with time, just learning the animals.
I agree. I agree with you on that. But I think that what I was trying to get to was the fact that a dog is more of an interactive animal that expresses itself. It has emotions for you. It shows your emotions. So people kind of give their dogs more respect than they would a snake. Okay. I didn't research at all. I went to buy an aquarium setup and came home with a 2,000 gram male. And within 3 months, I had 27 snakes. So that sounds just about right in the ball python world. And obviously with 27 snakes, you're not going to have 27 aquariums. So that's when we start shifting over to tubs, even though some of us, I won't mention any names, myself included, would bash anyone trying to bash me for having snakes in tanks, because it's what I knew for over 2 decades. So
that's my thing, is like, it's only stupid if it doesn't work. I work in the chemical plants and refineries, and that's a big saying that we have, is it's only stupid if it doesn't work. If it works, you good. Shit. Didn't duct tape hold a space shuttle that was coming back in to land
duct tape
together?
Duct tape does everything.
Right, but that's my thing. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. So
will hold that broken aquarium together. Now you just don't want to get the snake caught up in the duct tape. You just don't want the snake to get caught up in the duct tape. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that snakes don't show emotion, and because they don't show emotion, and people that sometimes might purchase them on the spur of the moment, don't hold them in the same regard as a cat or a dog. So they don't get the same treatment. So they don't get the same care, the same research, etc. And I think that that's sad, because it's an animal, and just like you said, if anything, it's more dependent. It can't. You have to be more aware. It's not going to limp if something's hurting. It's not going to look sad and have a different behavior if something's wrong. Well, it can, but nothing dramatic. if it's always, you see it curled up in a ball. So I
Right.
think it's just important that we understand that it's a living creature. That's been my biggest argument lately, is that it's a living creature, and that we have to treat it as such. My man in the house. Good morning, Gomez. It's so good to see you. I have to talk to you. I mean, now you have no excuse why you can't do an episode of What's in Your Cup, but we'll talk about that more later. And Mr. Gomez Pythons also has big love and affinity for dogs. He has all those mutts in his house, including the little curtain, the curtain robber. So we definitely have to get him on here and talk about that. So the logo, Sal, who's always questioning his logo. So it's funny that he comes on for this show, because every time he sees someone, he has logo stealing tendencies, I think. Because every time he sees someone else's logo that he likes, he's like, I should have done that. Like Drop Tine Reptile. Sal's very into deer hunting and collecting antlers. So when he saw Drop Tine Reptiles, he fell in love with that logo. He's like, I should have that logo.
That's a very good logo. As a matter of fact, Drop Time's logo looks a lot like 3 deer mounts that I have personally.
Maybe he stole the idea from your deer mounts.
Definitely not. It's a very common deer mount.
All right, so Love Balls and Herbs. We're gonna get back to the logo thing, and I was called immature for asking the question about it. I was asked what was it. So I'm gonna clarify that. And since we do spill tea here, why did I ask the question? Why was it a topic? Well, first and foremost, I'm in the habit of providing world-class customer service, and I'm telling you, top notch.
I'm just giving you shit.
Top notch, man. Let me tell you, you want to be a customer of mine, top notch, guys. By the way, I do have some snakes available, guys. You can receive some of that world-class customer service. Just DM me. But when you do work in these industries, and customer service is a key, and it is your livelihood, because especially in sales, you want repeat sales, you want large sales, etc. You definitely have, hey, good morning, guys. You definitely have to provide good customer service, right? You want people to come back down the road.
Right.
I'm fortunate that people will say, hey, I'm saving up money. What do you have coming? What are you working on? What will be available? So it's not even that they just want to go out and get a ball python. They want to get the ball python from me. And to be honest, I'm the same way. When I'm in the mood to get something, I want to go and spend my money with people that either do or have provided me good customer service. So for me, customer service is key. The reason why I brought it up is just didn't seem as if you got good customer service. You didn't go straight to the internet, right? You did have a communication first, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I reached out first, and I felt like that was the proper way to do it versus just trying to be like, hey, what does everybody else think? I wanted to see if he was willing to make things right before I brought it public. That's just how I am.
Okay, so I'm actually shipping out a boa to Georgia today. So DM me later. The boas were very slow to start eating. And because I would want you to stay a happy customer, I would want to make sure that they were eating well before shipping them out. But DM me later and we'll talk about that, Daddy. So somebody is saying that the person has somebody like you don't know who.
Yeah, I was about to say somebody.
And let me tell you, it looks like definitely got on CJ's bad side.
Oh, dude, she was over here reaming his ass. Like, I mean, just on top of shit. Just, you did this, you did that. This is so wrong, yada, yada, yada. I was like, damn, I didn't even have to say nothing.
That's a good woman right there.
She has her days.
That's a good woman right there. So customer service. Obviously, you weren't happy as a customer. You were not happy. You were not satisfied with the response. You were not happy with
Right.
what you saw. And because of that, we do live in this day and age where we have these platforms that it behooves you as the provider to give world-class customer service, because you can get a lot of negative feedback, and it all happens in the click of a button. So I don't think that sometimes we remember that. The fact that I was tagged on a story,
right. And, that was kind of my thing with it. I was like, man, that's kind of embarrassing for me that you're going to try and drag these other people that have no skin in the game into our issue.
And there's other backstory to this. It's not even just this one, because I spoke with others as well. And it seems as if they will have an idea, they will have something they want, but he tries to press his way of doing it. Now, obviously, when you're talking about graphic design, when you're talking about stuff that you want to, be used as a logo, maybe for some apparel, business cards, whatever the case is, stickers, right? Because we know how much we all love stickers. But when we're doing, which, by the way, you are the worst. And now that I have you here, I could say that. I forgot to bring that up last week. You are the worst.
Did you or did you not get your stickers?
After CJ moved in with you and I started.
Did you or did you not get your stickers?
I got my stickers from Black
All
Tie
right, then hush up.
Okay. I got them from Black Tie Royals. Okay. I did not get them from you. So I understand that in the graphic design world, there is expertise. But when someone wants something that you have to satisfy that want.
Right.
Okay. And if what they're creating isn't expressing it, it's not bringing it across, there's a problem. Okay. When you're charging a pretty nice size fee, okay, and this is what it. So basically, that's why CJ's logo is so nice. You see? Okay, now it makes sense to me, because as I mentioned, I think you were still sleeping, CJ, and Sass took us on a tour and let us watch you sleep like like a little angel. When I did mention how your logo it just came out great, and now it makes sense because someone else did it. Because this is another thing that we were talking about. I mean, people have styles, and sometimes you see the style too much, and that's one of the things that steered me away. Is I didn't want to have a logo that looked like it was made by the same person that made this logo, that made that. I mean, it's one thing if you're talking about Basquiat. It's another one if you're talking about let's just plug and play and, invert snakes, change the colors, and use bayou trees on everybody's logo. So I don't understand how Love Balls and Herps out of Arizona got it. But now we're talking about another outfit with a similar theme and concept, right? Bayou something, Bayou Balls or something?
Bayou Pythons.
Bayou Pipe. Come on, Bayou Balls would have worked. You don't see the how it rolls there. I like Bayou Balls. Why don't you change your whole logo and the company name to Bayou Balls?
Swamp water balls.
Oh, what? Swamp water
balls?
No, yeah. No, I don't want swampy watered balls.
Have like a sweaty gooch in the back.
So apparently a lot of people have had issues, and you would think by now, if your clients are complaining, you would think about doing things a different way. But apparently that's not the case here. Oh, wow. What is this? Who's that? Who's Logo Professional?
According to Anna, it's a nobody, but a clip artist.
A clip artist. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what sweaty balls. There has to be a sweaty balls out there. It's so funny. I did the show with Chris Eaton of Snakes and the Fat Man, and he was talking. He loves stickers, guys. So if you have an extra sticker, please DM me. I'll give you the address to send them to. I think everybody should send Chris their stickers. but he was also talking about the names, like all the names with balls in it, and
Yeah.
how much that irks him as well. So if you have a company name with balls in it, send them 5 stickers. Okay. 5. So Logo Professional did mine, and I had no problems. Just took 2 weeks, but it was everything I asked. I got like 10 variants for $100. Well, you got what you pay for, man. I would never wear your logo anywhere. I'm just messing with you, B-boy. But you got what you wanted, and that's what matters. And I'm glad that happened, and that should be the case for everyone. I don't care if it takes 2 weeks if it's what I want at the end of the day.
Right.
Now, a good question here is, were you told that you would get it in 48 hours? I was. Or if it was at least for the first rendition. So, all right. So you had a good experience, and that's great, because that's what he needs to build off of. He needs to build off of the service that he provided you and how he provided that service. Now, at the same time, I don't know, we don't know time frames here. Maybe at that time he had more availability, and then as people started getting his logo and spreading the word, again, with the click of a button, right? With the click of a button, good or bad, you can share this with masses with a click of a button. Other people coming in, other people needing that service, that, hey, it worked for them, so I might as well go with this person as well. And maybe he got overwhelmed. Maybe he has a full-time job and other things, to do. But you don't tell people you're going to do it in 48 hours at that point if it's not a reality and you can't get it to them. But with all that said, that's basic, customer service 101. You do what you say you're going to do. You provide the item or the service that you charge for, that you said you were going to provide. So let's get to this copycatting stuff, though. I mean, again, Love Balls and Herps all the way out in Arizona. We're talking desert. Love, that's her last name. If you notice, it's actually Loves.
Right.
Balls and Herps. The S goes on every word. I thought she had an awesome concept and logo on her own.
Oh yeah,
name.
Definitely. She sent me her original design, and I thought it was really cool. It came up with like a broken ground pattern almost, and it was like, damn, that kind of looks like dried out mud in the desert. I thought it was really cool, but she was like, I just want it kind of touched up to where the outline of it doesn't turn into like a bunch of fuzz when you enlarge it, and that was her problem. And see, I'll show you. This is what she had originally coming through.
Yep. That's her original thing. I love it. Love the
right. See all the cracking coming off the lettering? Like, I was like, man, that is freaking cool.
But did you notice the S's in the snake?
Right.
So it's Loves. Her last name is Love. So it's Loves, Balls, and Herps. And she tries to make it seem as if I love balls as much as she does. She always says that. $100 for a logo. I think that's a very reasonable, inexpensive rate. I think they go for $150 to $250 now.
Yeah, the $150 to $250, if you're starting from scratch, in my opinion, would be kind of like where a medium to high quality logo should be. But now if it's like touch up and stuff like that, like you already have your base design done, and you're just like, hey, I just need you to throw it on paper, clean it up. Yeah, $100 would be, what it should be. All right. Work you heard.
So Dan,
you got it at the bottom for a little target or what?
Yeah, I don't know. He's Korean, man. I don't know. We're not gonna get into these stereotypes. He's a big Korean.
No, I mean, like, does he have the logo at the bottom of the urinal for a?
Yeah, target? He sure does. He sure does. So I agree with what Hugh's saying, that there's no excuse for lack of professionalism, and I think that's what happened here. The fact that you went and you there were people that didn't even say anything about this topic when we had the show last week, and they were tagged into this as well. Right. So it's kind of like, matter of fact, Hugh Hugh was one of them, and he was like, "Look, I don't got a dog in this fight, but this redneck is itching to let loose."
Oh yeah.
So why make it a big deal? Why post this poll? And I know, and here's the funny part: a poll was posted, and it swung on the no side. Like, he said, "Do you agree with me that they didn't look alike?" And boy, did it swing heavily on the no side, where no one agreed. So guess what he did with the poll?
Took it down.
He deleted the poll when it didn't work in his favor. So there is a level of delusion here. Okay. Apparently there is a level of delusion. No, most people did not agree that there was no similarity or that they did not look alike. Then he put up something on me. He took that down. Another story towards me.
Yeah, and you shared that one. I remember that one.
Then he DM'd me. And sends me a whole book, and I made it very clear. I was just like, look, your beef is with the man in the mirror. You know, leave it with the man in the mirror. You don't want to have the beef with me because it's
super.
This is pretty much black and white. You know, this is, you know, you fail to provide the service that you charge for. You have unhappy customers, and I'm trying to help. If anything, you're going to lose business going down this road. You know, I'm trying to help you get back on track with whatever it was that made you start getting business in the first place, you know? So $100, I go buy myself a proven breeder pair of super normals. Yes, I know. Well, your logo is never going to fall into the top 5 of all time. I'll tell you that much. All right. So you know, it became adversarial. It became
ratio rash.
It became a whole lot of back and forth, and then he blocked me. So I'm just like,
oh yeah, he blocked me and CJ too.
You came at me.
I'm okay with that. It don't bother me. I'm not losing sleep over this. I was losing sleep over the fact that my logo was kind of being taken for granted and used where it shouldn't be, and without even consenting me about it first. You know, and that was the other thing that really pissed me off. And I was like, look, if worse comes to worse, we'll go about this how we need to. I was like, but let me know when the new logos are designed. I'd like to have an input on them. So he sent me the 2 new logos. And, you know, the Bayou Balls, I can't really say much about it because I understand why they're choosing that logo. But don't use the exact same tree, you know. Like, and he finally changed the tree up. And it basically looks like a cypress tree now with Spanish moss on it and no leaves, whereas mine looks like the cypress tree with leaves. So just one of those things. I was like, all right, that's far enough different.
But you're both in the bayou, so shouldn't you both have bayou trees?
Yeah, and you know, and that was kind of my thing. I was like, all right, it's not the exact same tree. You know, while it's maybe the same tree, one has leaves and one doesn't. You know, I was like, all right, I can live with that. You know, it didn't look like he was like, you know what, I like those trees. I'm just gonna cheat and move them over slightly. You know.
Okay, so here we got CJ saying that he demanded she take down and stop using the logo that she paid for because he didn't like her saying something. But in his advertising, marketing, his disclaimer, however you want to label it, he says it's yours, right? Once you pay for it. It's yours and your copyright. So I don't think he can make that demand. So
no.
So like tattoos never duplicate. But again, you go to a tattoo parlor, and I wish Inflicted was with us, Jack. You go to a tattoo parlor, and what's the first thing you do? The first thing you do is you look at the wall, you look at a book, and you start getting your ideas off of there. So there's going to be similarities. I think my biggest issue here is taking 2 hours of work or a few hours of work, depending on what he was doing, what he was designing, and just, you know, smacking a couple of things, inverting this, changing the color of a snake, and using the same exact thing. Like, hey, swamp water and bayou, it's pretty similar. Let's just let it rock. And how do you not have the foresight to think that it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass? Like,
right.
You know, I don't get it. Well, I think that you've been a gentleman, and this is good. at first I was like, I cannot believe we're talking about logos, but hey, we've spoken about stickers extensively. And this is different because whether you're in the hobby or you're doing this as a business, for most, this is their identity. This is when people see that logo, they know it's you.
Right.
I joke about Sal, but I know, that GP is I love it. It's one of the most recognized logos in the community. I think anyone that has t-shirts, Sal's like usually one of the first ones you get. That's why you can never change your logo, Sal. I don't care what you think or how many other people's ideas you wanna steal. Okay. So Danny says it's not yours until you copyright or trademark, but according to him, it's copywritten once it's purchased. So, what advice would you give to someone that wants to either get a new logo or, I mean, this is an experience, and obviously when you purchased your logo, you didn't think coming down the road something like this would happen. So what did what would your advice be to someone that is shopping for a logo artist and wants to start branding and putting this whole package together?
It's kind of one of those things that I should have taken my own life advice that I was given a lot earlier in my life, and good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good. I don't know if y'all hear that, but that's something we use down here a lot. And
can you say that again?
Good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good.
Good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good.
Right. So, when you're playing odds, yeah, cheap can be all right because you can get lucky. But yeah, like Jersey Balls is saying, like, that was kind of why I went with him versus others is I like the price point. And now I think I could have gotten a better design if I would have spent a little bit more money and probably wouldn't have had this issue. So, Chino, you get what you pay for. Obviously, that's now reflected in his customer service. Like, you got a cheap logo, paid cheap money for it, and got cheap customer service.
So good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good.
Yep.
Right. So I think that's one of the things that sometimes we lose sight of as the client, as the customer. If you think about a lot of people, if you think about a lot of people that are just coming into the hobby, they jump on Craigslist. They want the cheapest snakes they could find just because they want more snakes. They're not looking at the genes. They're not looking down the road at breeding. They're just looking at having more snakes at the cheapest price point, which ends up costing them more because they house it, they feed it. It might be sick. It might get their other animals sick. So I agree with you.
Speaking of, if anybody wants a butter, we got a butter mail. Message us about them. We'll probably give them to you.
Is that a hatchling or
full-grown adult?
All right, so there we go. Now, mind you, just for the record, guys, there is a purpose for Butter Lesser. Gene does do stuff because it's actually, we also have, make sure you subscribe and tell everybody subscribe so we can get to 1,000 followers.
How many more you need?
Whatever we don't have to 1,000 from where we are now.
That tells me a lot, Brian. That tells me a lot.
I think we have like 600 followers, so I would say in the 400 range. Okay. And we do have a butter male that will be given away. He's beautiful. And again, like I said, I mean, you want to make a bell.
Right.
There's a bunch of I have a buttered rum combo right now. Look up buttered rum. It's really lesser butter, same thing. And I just like the way buttered rum sounds. So you hear that a lot from tattoo artists, and it's true. And as a matter of fact, I love it. There's a meme out there that says you could always find it somewhere else cheaper. And the guy's looking like at a picture, and the rendition of the tattoo looks nothing like the picture. So think about that. Gatto, congratulations on your move to Staten Island. Welcome back to New York. So Gomez is going to pull he's going to pull a Chad and unsubscribe. It's all right, because you want to know something funny, Sal? We went private on our page. I'm just tired of the stalkers. So we went private on our page, and when I went to your page, it said follow back. And I was like, oh, shit, I forgot to follow back after, we do this little chat immature, unfollow after somebody hits a milestone of 3,000. I think you're going
Right.
to 4,000 now, Sal. You
Yeah,
go.
we were gonna try and get Billy with that the other day, but Jason, your counterpart, messaged us a little too late, and he was too far over. We were gonna fuck with him at the 50,000 mark and just keep it back and forth all day.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. And you guys let Max yesterday. You guys let Max get away with it.
What?
Max he hit like 19.
Oh, at the 1,900, yeah. Well, we don't really care that much about like the every 100. We want to hit the big ones like the 500, the 1,000, the 2,000, so on and so forth. We're not really that worried about the intermediate,
Are they talking about you that you eat with your hands?
I don't know why.
I don't know. There's a lot of hand talking eating.
Oh, no. They're talking about the butter that we got, or the lesser, whatever he is. He likes to bite hands. He's an asshole.
Oh, is he still eating hands? God.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. He's an asshole.
All right, that's awesome.
Probably my least favorite snake in our entire collection.
Yesterday my son was mentioning, because Dad, I've been doing this for 3 years and I still haven't gotten tagged. And I'm like, I can't wait till this kid gets bit already. Like, I just cannot wait.
Oh, yeah. So CJ picked this one up from Christine over at Redstrom Reptiles. And let me tell you, she sent me a photo right after she got him. And he was just full on, latched on, wrapped her arm, everything. And she was bleeding like a stuck pig right after it happened. But I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then sure enough, we get him down here. He gets me a few weeks ago. And then luckily it was just like a strike tag. It wasn't a wrap, but it's just one of those things. I'm kind of over him. We got better males, so I'm like, why are we keeping him? Why are we feeding him?
So Johnny, just look at it like this. That good feeling you have when you hit the milestone. They just want you to have it again. That's all. So after you hit the milestone, they unfollow you so that way you can hit it again and have that feeling all over again. So Sal says, send Samson to my house to play with the Bloods. We'll take care of that. First of all, a blood python bite and a ball python are two huge different stories. And the closest he's ever been to being bitten, we have on videotape, is at Sal's house from our cinnamon head candy girl we got from him. That she's still nasty. I'm looking at her right now. She's still a nasty thing. She's nasty. So we got Boas here, man. He approaches them with no fear. And I think because of that, it just works out well. He's quick with what he does. Samson just grabs him. He has no fear. He grabs him the right way. When I got my 12-year streak broken, I was scared because she's a nasty thing. It's my pinstripe that changed colors, which, by the way, Samson hit his lemon blast off of her. And we want to keep the girls because we want to see if they do the same thing and if it's genetic, the whole color changing thing. And
kind of like IMG or what?
Oh man, it just.
She darken up or does she lighten up?
No, you just look up the hashtag Penny Cost COST or Chewbacca the ball python, and okay. I have photos of her original color where she was a really, really, really beautiful, dark, normal looking pinstripe. And then one day I opened up the tub and nobody knows what the heck it is. I mean, people said she would go back and she's shed. She's laid her eggs. It's been a year now.
Maybe you have what happened to the Stormtrooper going on. Is that what you're saying?
That's why I named her Chewbacca. Exactly.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good. I gotta give it that one. That was pretty good.
She's more like Chewbacca's color now, so that's why I named her Chewbacca. All right, I'm giving you all the credit. I'm not trying to steal your credit, JD. It's all you, man. You came up with the Stormtrooper. The only difference is though that the Stormtrooper continued to change. She hasn't.
Okay.
It's been a year now. She changed one time, complete color change. It's funny because when I opened her up, I was taken aback and I was like, what is this? And when Samson came home later that night, I said, hey, we got a new snake. And I went to show him. and he goes, "That looks just like Penny, but a different color." So he saw it immediately,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, go look up Chewbacca the ball python. I think I have a video of her on here as well. But it's pretty funky. It's definitely pretty funky, and we want to see if we have 2 pinstripes and one of the lemon blasts. He actually wanted to hit a lemon blast. He didn't care male or female. He hit 3 lemon blasts, and one of them are female. So,
yeah, keep the female before I kept the male.
Yeah, so we're keeping all 3 females, and we're gonna see if 2 years down the road, if any of this color changing stuff happens to them or to any of their babies. Which is kind of funny because the female's dorsal stripe it's so bright compared to the 2 males. So it's almost like you already see something going on there.
Right.
Like if you look at the 3 lemon blasts, the female stands out. You can see the color in her that stands out. And the 2 pinstripes are great examples. I mean, beautiful head stamps. So we'll see. Maybe there's something going on in there. You never know. So
yeah.
All right, so I agree. As we come down to an end, I want to thank you. This is twice in a week's time. You have given me your time and given me the gift of your time. I definitely do agree with what you said, though. And guys, just think about that. I mean, no one's saying to go out and waste your money, but you do get what you paid for. Okay. Like Lorenzo said, don't be penny wise, dollar foolish. And like many others had said, it all boils down to good ain't cheap and cheap ain't good. And we got that straight from the bayou. And remember that, guys, you at some point you get what you pay for. And I used to always tell people there's a big difference between price versus cost. Okay. The price may be lower, but what is it going to cost you in the long run? So this is a perfect example of that, where the price may have been less, but it cost frustration. It cost tension. It cost maybe negative attention to the situation. So just keep that in mind, guys. Okay. All right, sir. Well, thank you. Is there anything you want to share? You said you have the buttered mail. Maybe if you help me get to 1,000, we can include it in the giveaway, and we have 2 buttered mails.
Well, I mean, it's CJ Snake, but that'll have to be taken up with her.
Why are you giving away CJ stuff for, man?
No, I'm just vouching for it. I'm not giving it away. They got to take that up with her to discuss price. I'm out here discussing it, trying to get some light shed on him.
So listen, before we do sign off, you know what? Let's spend a couple of minutes on that. So a lot of people, when I go to these shows and everything, you see people trying to hook up. You guys started a full-fledged relationship. I mean, how beautiful is that?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse. I'll put it that way. It's pretty cool to be able to date somebody that is in the reptile community, but at the same time, it's a curse because you kind of butt heads at times on what project you want to chase or what your next big purchase should be, and you don't have the funds to do both of them. But I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to snakes. I'm just like, shit, I want another cool snake, so I'll be like, all right, I'll put up the money for it. But that's about the hardest part is deciding what to get into next, and like there's a BSR Auctions had an orange ghost pied that I really wanted. And it was a male, and he was beautiful, low white and very orange, and I couldn't do it because we're trying to save for a puzzle male. So it kind of sucks at times, but it's definitely worth it in the long run.
All right, so this brings on the next interesting question. So we have Swamp Water Exotics and Black Tie Royals. Do you guys continue to be separate entities even though you're working on joint projects, or does this become like Swamp Water Black Ties or Black Swamp Water? Like what do you guys see coming down in the future?
We've discussed it. And there was a name that we came up with that we both really liked. I'm blanking on it right now. She'll probably remember. But
so I guess you didn't like it that much.
Well, I mean, dude, my fucking mind's all over the place all the time at work and thinking about snakes and all that shit. I'm all over the place.
Guys, we have Spider-Man here, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Who's Spider-Man?
You're like Spider-Man, what you do at work.
It is what it is. But anyway, it's just one of those things.
Black tie swamp balls.
We've talked about it, and as of right now, we're just kind of leaving it as is, just because everybody knows us separately. And so one day we'll probably come up with something, but as of right now, I think we're just going to leave it the same. But I'm sure she'll say different. So Black Swamp Exotics. Okay, well, there you go. Thought it was
I was pretty close. I was pretty close. All right, I was pretty close. So I like swamp black balls though. Or swampy black balls.
Well, maybe if we got Super Cinnamon Christine, we probably could go with that.
Oh, I think he's doing an indirect direct. In Spanish, we call it an indirecto. I think he's being extremely direct there.
It's got to be a female, though. Just saying.
I think he wants something. So, Sandra, you were definitely part of this conversation. So, please do go back and check out what you missed. Thank you for.
And if she's still here, I want to point out, like, she was awesome about the whole situation. Very understanding. I just was like, hey, I just wanted to reach out as, kind of a professional courtesy and, see if we could talk about this. And she's like, yeah, I completely understand. Now, that's not what I wanted at all. And I mean, just was like, in my opinion, way more understanding than I was expecting. So, I want to give her a huge shout out. She's awesome.
She is, despite the fact that she is a wise ass. Oh my God, what a wise ass. Sandra is a wise ass. If you have some communications with her, you will see. She's awesome people though. She's really cool. She's really laid back. And as much of a wise ass as she is, she's non-confrontational. So for this to even have her involved in the whole situation kind of sucks. It's all your fault, Saz. You got a nice person involved with this, man. I don't know much about Bayou pythons, but love balls and herbs. She's awesome people. So, all right, Sandra, that's my my trying to get
2 minutes of fame.
That's me trying to get a discount on something you're going to be selling down the road. Okay, don't forget I said all that good stuff. All right. BS Ball Exotics. We have a BS out there. We have a BS. And actually, didn't we just have a BS like a hustler with BS that he changed his name? That I had gone to Lizard Mom. Like, this guy looks like a hustler, and it turned out things weren't adding up. So, all right, guys. Well, it's Hump Day. Like I said earlier, we hope that you're having a great week so far, and you ride out the momentum. And if not, we hope that you take this opportunity to turn things around and get over the hump and crush the rest of your week. Thank you, Saz, for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Anytime y'all need an extra spot filled, call me.
Jar Pythons, you go to the dean's office and get a late pass. Saz, hit me up for anything, man. We appreciate you, man. And you and CJ keep doing what you're doing. You provide hope for all the lonely hearts in this community.
Thank you, but no thank you.
All right. Take care, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good one.